it's salvaged up from the banks. It's pushed up on the sides here. So I estimated she's probably been about 8 or 9 feet deep. Moving on, here's some of the old ducks all pairing up here, look. Lovely. Tell the spring's coming on. This is the back of the tarmac works. This is a railway bridge into Amy Roadstone Company here. And this is part of the River Ouse. It comes from Ardenley College and the reservoir, and Shell Brook of course. And it's part of the same water we see earlier on at Bork and Bar ducks. It's coming on quite well there, isn't it?
Yes.
As you can see, the water's been right up level with the banks. Birds are singing nice. I think that's virtually it for the filming of the river up through the Avins Bridge to the college. 9 acres. Recreation greens.
The film you're about to make is about Sheffield Forest. But before we go into the forest, I will try and point out one or two farms and places of interest and things that I recall in my young days. The farm you see over here by the pond is known as Fortman's Farm. Fortman's Farm. It's been farmed by the Uggett family for the last at least 2 generations. The little houses on the left was another little farm. But now it's all one. There was an old chap called Farmer. Odd enough, used to farm. This pond we see here has always been in there. In my early days, the cows drank from it. Boys, we used to fish it with the old-fashioned way of a bent pin and a piece of thread. It is one of the last true Sussex farms I think you will see around in Sussex or anywhere in the south of England. I would like to say about the farm was about the farmer, Mr. Uggett. In my days gone by, I started my working life as a gamekeeper on Sheffield Park estate, which this was one of the tenant farms on Sheffield Park. And at the end of the pheasant shooting season, it was my job to bring Mr. Argett up a brace of pheasants as a complimentary from the landowner. And he used to give me a tip of a shilling, which in those days almost bought me a pint of beer or half a packet of fags. Well, that was a long time ago, 5 pence today. One little bit on the left used to be part of the old London to Brighton carriage drive. Coach used to run past, and this was part of the main road.
Good Lord.
What we're looking through here now. Up there,
Yeah.
the buildings with the apex, you see the top there?
Oh, yes.
Was the Sunday school. As you can guess, I never went, but Miss Briggs used to do the Sundays at the school, and she did a little tiny day school, but I mean that's 40, 50 years ago. So, and now we swing out to here. This field used to have a village fair, but that was around the very early 1900s, or perhaps before. The building with the 3 gables used to be a tea rooms. The garage was altogether just a long wooden bungalow type. Sold petrol, oil, paraffin, run a couple of little taxis and old jobs. A nice old man by the name of Pop Shannons kept it. Proper old countryman, used to poach the pheasants from the estate, but he was never a greedy man. He just had one for his pot or his family, which was rather nice. He was caught 2 or 3 times, but he never held that against you. He would still give you a lift in his car if you were walking, and didn't expect a fare from you. We will now probably look down towards the A275. That particular cottage I've known was a pair of cottages there for years. And even to this day, it hasn't got the electric light on it.
Oh,
And no running water.
was a well fed
It was a
there,
well,
Pete.
yeah. And we will move on a bit further and
Down the lane here.
down the lane to the old mill. But we
Rightio.
will take our car with us a bit further.
Rightio then, moving on then.
If you and I walk, I'll take the car. It was run by Miss Briggs. But as I said, I never went there.
Yeah.
We now carry on and look at the next building,
Yeah.
which will be, or was, Furness Green Stores. Where I am pointing now
Yeah.
used to be Furness Green Stores. If you look at the film, you will see along the wall where it was a part of a shop and the local stores. In my young days, it was run by Tunks, Mr. Tunks and family. And then he sold out to a Mr. Greengrass, which we moved away in those days, so I don't know what happened to it then. It shut down.
Good Lord.
But
It was post office as well here, or
it was a post office. There's the old post box.
Oh yeah, that black one in the
Yeah.
wall there, is it? That's a Victorian job, isn't it?
Yeah. It had no light, no, I suppose it had water, but
Yeah.
you know, they used to have to light the oil lamps about 3 o'clock in the winter's afternoon.
Good
It was quite
Lord.
nice.
Lovely.
We'll carry on down the lane now,
Right.
and we'll start heading towards Sheffield Mill.
Rightio then.
The Sheffield Mill Farm. As we look down the lane,
Yeah.
this is a private road, but a public footpath.
I see.
We will shortly be going into Beachy Wood, which is over on my right, which again is private, doesn't own by the Forestry Commission,
Yeah.
but with a bit of luck, I've got permission to go in there.
Right.
But I'm just going to show you the keeper's cottage.
Rightio. Oh, birds are singing nice.
Yeah, they don't have to come out nice on that, do they?
Yeah.
Looking at now was a keeper's cottage, and the last full-time or proper keeper that lived in there was Bill Burley, who lived there for many years, and I think he's still got a son living in Ardingly now.
No, he died.
Did he?
He died last year. Both of them died one after the other, and I know who you mean.
Morris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is where Morris and young Bill is still alive in Arkfield, and so is Morris's sister. But looking at the old red brick where it was part of the old house, there were a lot of wooden buildings here which were the old keeper's shed and kennels, which are no longer there. And the lane leads down to the mill. But we are now going to go into Beachy Wood. But over here, the wood across the other side of the field,
Yeah.
is called Op Robin.
Yeah.
How it got the name of Op Robin, I do not know, but there's a line of rocks in the wood there, which we used to take the pheasants off and drive them over the valley. They were very high birds. It was a very good estate, some 3,000 acres, which my father in those days was the head keeper, and there were, before the war, there were 8 underkeepers, and after the war there were 5. And it belonged to the Soames family. But a little bit later I will tell you a little bit more about the estate as we go along. We go to Beachy Wood now.
Right. This film was made in 1995, end part of April, one evening, Wednesday night. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many years ago this was used by smugglers who once used to smuggle wool off of Ashdown Forest and cut through here on the way to Newhaven. Though you think Ashdown Forest is a far away, it's only about 2.5, 3 miles, less than that as a crow flies. But you don't have to have a history lesson to know how this got here. This dates back from the Ice Age. And this is a bit, ground was left, the ice like that. But it's been here for thousands of years, and judging by the look of it, it'll be here for another several thousand years. But we're right in the heart of Beachy Wood now. Down through there is the bluebells.
Lovely.
Possibly not quite 8.
Yeah, lovely.
We're going to find the cave.
Right.
See, this is a badger set. Well, 40 years ago this set wasn't here. So you can now see, over the 40 years, how many tons of soil has been dragged out. I wouldn't like to estimate that, because a lot of it's been washed down here. A ride has been bulldozed through here, and there's plenty of tracks. This is quite freshly used. You can see that by the shine. If you look here, quite shiny.
Oh, I see.
And that is the way a badger goes in and rubs his back. Last night, heavy shower of rain.
I see.
There are the prints.
Good Lord.
Now this time of year there's possibly young badgers in there.
Cool.
But in my days it was only a large rabbit earth.
Oh, I see.
But
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens, you know, when the land is left to take care of itself?
Yeah, right.
We'll go along and look at the cave. Follow this ridge of rocks along.
Yeah.
There used to be, when it was a pheasant drive, we used to put suet in, which is to make pheasants fly.
Yeah.
And they used to flush them up here, right over, and the guns used to stand out in the field here. They were very high birds.
Cool.
And earlier on I told you about Hop Robin,
Yeah.
and that was the same. There. Right the way through.
Good Lord.
We'll walk the bluebells.
Right.
Beachy Wood Cave. Legend goes that this cave goes in here and it comes out at Colin Goblin's, up in the top of the forest.
It's really?
Yeah. They do say that some white ducks were put in here many years ago and they came out at Colin Goblin's.
Good Lord.
But there's been a landslide of rock, and probably 25 yards, 30 yards up there is blocked.
Oh.
Once it's supposed to be able to turn a horse and cart round in it, but you'd know, you'd never got a horse and cart up in there. But of course it was used again with the smuggling. Normally there's water running down here nearly all the year round. I was in here rabbiting 20 odd years ago, and a rabbit ran along the top there, and my Jack Russell chased it, and the Jack Russell slipped and he fell right down here, and I was over there, and it was after a rainstorm. I thought, cool, I'll just about get up here and fish him out.